Doing tonight, this is Justin from Kid Lawn Care, and I was just going to throw a quick tip out there. As you can see, I got the old cherry nose, so I've been sporting the mask here for the last hour in the grocery store, but I thought about this briefly because I just did this a little while ago. Cleaning the underside of your mower decks. Now, why is this so important? It's really more important to me than it is you as a homeowner. The reason for this is simply because there's a potential that I could transmit a fungal disease from one yard to the next. Old eye is burning. So another thing it does is that it disrupts the airflow under a deck. Now, airflow is pretty important for a mower deck because in a, I don't want to say a cheaper, but maybe a more value kind of mower, most of you are not going to have these big $10,000–$12,000 lawnmowers to take care of your yard with. It's going to be something you picked up at Lowe's, or maybe it's just something you picked up from Facebook Marketplace, or you simply just had. Well, most of them are kind of like this. It's a stamped deck. Both sides are kind of domed, and this actually creates kind of a vacuum because there's pressure being blown out the side of the deck, and anytime that pressure has to exhaust somewhere, there's going to have to be an intake. So it's not really a vacuum per se, but it is just a movement of air. But that movement of air will lift up the blades and cut them. So having all that grass in there will actually disrupt the airflow, and it may not suck up the grass and cut it as efficiently as it once did when it was clean. So that's something you want to clean, and especially in the springtime when the grass is soaking wet, because obviously when grass is dry, it's like dust. It just flies right out. It's not a big deal. But when it's wet like it is right now, like it just rained today, so I know tomorrow it's going to be an awful day. I'll have to clean my decks out, maybe even before I'm done with the route. Because, like I said, it disrupts airflow, and if even if I suck up dog poop, cut grass and a little bit of dog poop gets mixed in with there's a chance that I could potentially take that to another yard, and it could fall onto their yard and give their dog parvo, or just give it some disease. So it's really important to keep your decks clean. I mean, it's I would say up there with as important as greasing your spindles, your casters, just keeping your mower clean in general. So every time that I change the blades, which I usually do it every weekend, if I don't change the blades, I at least check them and make sure they're sharp, which usually I take them off every time I clean the deck anyway, because when the blades aren't in the way, it's just overall easier to clean the deck. That way I don't cut my fingers like I do periodically. So there's actually a couple different products you can put on mower decks that will keep grass from sticking to it. I don't want to say it's going to keep it from sticking to it permanently. I mean, there's nothing out there that's going to do that, but there's products that will make it easier. One of them that I know of is Easy Slick. It's kind of like a Teflon coating, and the easiest way to put it on is to take the mower deck off, take the blades off, and get a paintbrush and spray it. Or if you have or lay it on. Or if you have a paint sprayer, you might, I haven't tried this, I think you can actually mix it into one of the sprayers, and you can just, spray the Teflon coating on, and I mean, it will keep grass from sticking to it. Another kind of trick I've heard, which I'm going to try it this weekend, because I haven't really done this thing to my mower decks. I'm going to do it very soon. I've tried it before, and it seems to work really well, which is to, I'm going to get some Pam, or some non-stick cooking spray, and spray the deck down. Now, I hear this wears off after about a couple of yards, but it should keep my decks relatively clean, at least make them a lot easier to clean. And really, I've only got maybe one or two mower decks that really clump up real bad. And when I say clump up real bad, I mean we're still talking, probably less than 5 minutes of scraping. And it's usually only in areas where the blades come together, on at least on one deck. For some reason, it doesn't really collect at the back. It kind of does a little bit. This would be on my snapper, or the one with the Ferris deck. It will collect kind of on the curved baffle area, and it'll kind of make its own little mulchy chamber per blade. So I usually have to clean that, but normally I only have to do that if the grass is like 3–4 inches higher than what it normally is. I don't think the grass is really shot up this week, so it may not really be an issue. But another area that it collects on another one of my decks is at the rear of the baffles, like behind the blade. But it doesn't really collect more than maybe an inch, and all my decks are at least 5 inches. I think one of them's 4 inches, but they're all thick enough where it doesn't really affect anything crucially. So anyway, that's just something to throw out there. You know, if you guys have an opportunity to do it, or, you know, maybe when you do that once, you know, once the season's service, take it to your mower shop, get everything checked out, have them clean the deck out. If it's something that you have a mower lift, it probably wouldn't hurt to clean it maybe once every couple weeks. If you can, bend over, look through the discharge chute, and just see if any grass is starting to build up. A mulching deck is going to be way worse at doing this than a discharge, because a discharge can get the grass out, whereas a mulch deck, it's kind of forced to keep all the grass in it. So, you know, if you have an opportunity, like I said, drive it up on a ramp or something like that, take a quick peek and see what's in there. Thanks for watching.